I just want to share one of my all-time favourite guitar riffs, which is Elvis Presley's Mystery Train with Scotty Moore playing the guitar. And at the time they were a three-piece band with Bill Black on double bass, Elvis on acoustic guitar and Scotty Moore on electric guitar. And it was recorded by Sam Phillips at the iconic Sun Records. And when I first heard it, I thought, wow, that was such an amazing riff. I just could not get my head around it. It seemed to bounce and flick. And I tried to learn it and I just couldn't. And then I went back and I tried again and again. I learnt it from the record, dropping the needle on, dropping the needle on. And finally, I heard the essence. And the essence, it's in E, and the only chords are E and A. And the essence is an octave in E. But what really makes it is damping with this part of your hand. And damping using the heel of your hand on the bridge is such a widespread technique, and it's so important to learn. For example, Pretty Vacant by the Sex Pistols, they all use it to get that. And I'll show you without, and then. And what you're doing is you're damping with your heel of your hand, and then instead of just playing straight down, you pull up slightly, and you get that bounce. And it's almost a natural delay. Can you hear it? Click. So that's the bottom E, and then the same on the top E. Open. So it goes. And you keep the full E chord down, because even though you're playing two strings, occasionally you'll stray onto the B string, and once the amp is singing at gig level, the rest of the chord will quietly resonate underneath to give you that fullness. Like all great guitar riffs, it is deceptively simple, but very difficult to play properly. And no disrespect, but there are so many videos out there demonstrating how to play this, and in my opinion, none of them quite capture the essence. They sort of bring the chords in and then they lose the time. And the essence is you must keep this going. And when the chords come in, it does not falter. First chord is E, and you're already playing that E with your thumb, and the only other two strings that come in are the G string and the B string, and he does a hammer on. So it goes G to G sharp, and he's playing the B as well. So it's 1 and 2 and 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 that's the first half of the bar. Now the magic is the second half of the bar, and all he does with his third finger is flattens it down and plays the E, the A and the C sharp. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3, and then on the third beat he plays on the off beat on the second half of the beat. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's it. That's it. And once you learn that technique, which is called syncopation, applies to so many other rockabilly riffs by the great rockabilly guitar players, and so on. Slow Elvis, for example. And that's it. Now, 90% of a good guitar sound, you need any guitar that'll stay in tune, any amp, and if you play the riff right, you've got it. Now for that last 5-10%, the icing on the cake, the cream on top of the milk, then choosing the guitar that suits you, whatever it is. And for rockabilly, the Gretschers were made famous by Eddie Cochran and Brian Setzer. But what's really important is the right amp. It has to be a valve amp. And I ended up making my own because to get an original one costs so much money. And the thing that makes it is it's valve all the way through, valve rectifier, good hefty transformers, but above all an Alnico speaker. And my amps, this is a 5 watt, there's a 20 watt there, 30 watt under there, and they're all what's called cathode biased, which means they sing more. I can't explain it here, but they sing more. So the right amp, and then finally, if you really want, you can put a bit delay on top. But actually, a good valve amp singing, because the valve sound creates harmonies, and the right technique, you don't even need delay. But if you want, right at the end, you can put a bit of delay on. So this is without, and then, and all it is a clicky. Can you hear it? One little tight delay. So without.